Hello, in this video I would like to share with you how to knit zigzag or chevron stitch. It is not difficult and I will try to make it as easy as possible. First of all, what you have to understand is how stitches are distributed. So I have 5 stitches here, and this is one stitch that goes along and another one stitch that goes along. Around this stitch I always make a yarn over. I'm adding this stitch. Here I make 3 together to reduce number of stitches and maintain that way 5 stitches all the time in between. Here to maintain these 5 stitches, because I'm making yarn over on this side as well, all the time symmetrical, I have to knit 2 together after the edge stitch at the beginning of each row and at the end of each row, because here also I put 1 yarn over. I'm adding stitch here and adding stitch here. So basically around 1 vertical line I'm adding 2 stitches, on 1 on each side by making yarn over. Around another one I'm just reducing number of stitches, again adding, reducing, adding, and here I have to reduce and here I have to reduce because I'm adding here and here, so to maintain the same number of stitches. Now how to calculate a number of stitches here, because here I have my full pattern consists of this number of stitches: 5, 5, 1, 1. Total is 12, right? So, and I have here 2 repeats, and for symmetry I have here ending the same. See, from here to the end, from here to the end, they are the same. See, it's complete symmetry. This is central, that I have this like vertical 3D stitch, and then goes inward, and then again 5. So that means, that's what I mean by symmetry. So 12, 12, and this is 11 because I don't have this stitch here. The number of stitches, how we have to calculate it: 12 is for the pattern, this is 12, multiplied by 2, because I have only 2. If you have more, then this number will change, plus 11, or 12 minus 1, plus 11, and plus 2 edge stitches, first and last. Total it makes 24 plus 11, this is 24, plus 11 plus 2, it makes 37 stitches. And that's what I have here, 37 stitches. I already cast on. Any way you want you can cast on. Now I'm removing 1 needle, and now we have to control these 5 stitches all the time. First stitch just to transfer, this is an edge stitch. Then next 2 we have to knit together through the front loop to make them angled to the right, this direction. And that at the same time, this is stitch number 1 out of 5, out of this 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5th will be yarn over, then knit 1, this one, yarn over, which is at the same time first out of these 3 that yarn over. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's look. This is a full stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a central. I can put this pin to make it easier, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now next 3 I have to knit together, but this central one I have to make first. For that I'm going to transfer first 2 stitches on my right needle without knitting and turn them around like this and put them back that way that the second stitch comes first. And 1, 2, 3, these 3 stitches, see, I will separate. I will knit them together, 3 together, like this. And so let's put the pin here. And again we have to knit 5, including a yarn over. So I'm here now. So 5 including yarn over before this central stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this is central, and again yarn over. This is 1. Let's put here also. It will be easier for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now these 3 again I have to knit together, but before that I have to turn them around and make second stitch first, and after that knit 3 together. And let's put here also the pin. So that's our central stitch, the marker. And now another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is yarn over, central, yarn over. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I have 3 left, see, which is correct because these 2 I have to knit together with the angled to the left. For that I have to knit them the rear through the rear, right? Your stitches, by the way, could look this way, and you will have to turn them around. So I will show you again a couple of times and you will understand. And last is always purl. Let's put marker, see here, 2 yarn overs, and this is central. I will put now this marker here. Not exactly the right spot. We need that stitch, which is a central stitch. Now all even rows are just purl rows, just purl stitches. And of course first is I transfer and then just purl all of them. Just simple purl stitches. See, when you have yarn over, you can purl it. See how it lies. Your yarn over might look this way. If you purl it just as open one, you will have a hole. If you don't want a hole, just turn it around and purl it through these front loop. See, that way you're kind of crossing it, crisscross it. See? And you won't have the hole, just like I have it here, the same way. I'll make a couple of times that and you will see better, I think. Now I'm just regular purl stitches, so if somebody needs to see it slower. See, now this is yarn over. Yarn is always under my needle, see? Under my needle. And the same way. Now, and again, the same thing as I did in the first row. First edge stitch I just transfer, and next two I have to knit together, angled to the right. Angled to the right. Your stitches might look this way. Then you don't have to change the direction. To make it angled to the right, you have to knit it together through the front loop, these two stitches, and then they will be angled to the right. Then this is stitch number 1, 2, 3, 4. This is our central. Yarn over is number 5. Central, then yarn over is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now these 3 we have to knit together, and again we have to transfer them on the right needle to first 2 stitches and return them, making second stitch first, and after that knit them all 3 together. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is yarn over, central, yarn over. This is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again this is 3 together, but this should be first, right? This is our central stitch. Turn them around just like that and knit them 3 together here, and again first, second, third, fourth stitch, yarn over is 5th stitch, central, yarn over, it's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and again we have a 5. These 2 should be knitted together to keep number of stitches the same, or exactly 5, and before the edge stitch after this marker, right? But my stitches look correctly because I have to knit them through the real loop and make them angled to the left. If your stitches look like this, make sure you change the direction like this, so that real loop comes first. See, when you look at the needle, and that way we knit them both together and they are angled to the left, and last is always purl. Row number 4 is the same as row number 2 and all even rows, just purl stitches. First, of course, I transfer and then just purl all of them. When you have this yarn over, you purl it through the front loop. See, just like this. That's it. Central. Again, yarn over and purl, purl, all of them. I do have a video how to purl and knit Continental. So now, and again, yarn over. See, and you pull the yarn under, and again purl, and again, and again purl, all the time purl stitches, just regular purl. Now again the same, but I will introduce another color just to make it fun, to make it more interesting and maybe easier to see. When I change the color, by the way, I always knit a first stitch. I don't just transfer, I knit it. And first two I have to knit together, angled to the right. I have to change the position because of my stitches, because I have to knit through the front loop. So I will show you how they were again. So my stitches lie on the needle that way. See, that's how they lie on the needle. If I knit them through the front loop like this, see, this stitch gets crossed. See what happens? It gets crossed, which I don't like. To avoid it, what I usually do, so I change the direction of my stitches. By the way, your stitches might look the same way. It all depends how you purl. And in my video I do explain it. And now I knit two together through the front loop. And this is stitch number 1. Number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5 is yarn over. I always make it from myself against. So that's how I pick the yarn. See, not that way, but from me. Knit 1, and again this is 1 yarn over, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now these 3, this is a central, right? We have this marker, should come first. Again, I have to turn them around and make sure my second stitch comes first. And now I need 3 together. And again, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Central stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now again 3 together, and I have to turn them around and make a 3 together. That's how that looks. See? And again 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 4. Again, I'm sorry, I had to replace the battery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, central. Again, yarn over. If we did yarn over before, we have to make yarn over after, because it's symmetry, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and again we have a 3 left, and we have to 2 together, angled to the left. My stitches, I don't need to change or turn around on my needle, because real loop comes first. See? If your stitch looks like this, then you have to turn the last 2 stitches around and make sure they look this way, and then knit them together through the real loop to make them angled to the left. And last is purl. That's it. And again, only purl stitches, because it's an even row. I will just do it quickly. I think it's clear, right? So this is yarn over, and that's how I purl it. A regular purl stitch, yarn over, like this, and again regular purl stitches. Done. That's how it looks. I can do one more row in a blue color. Just return the color for you in case somebody needs to see it again. But even if everything is clear, look at the end of the video where I will, because I will explain how to calculate more patterns to make it wider. It's not straightforward, okay? Or you can just fast forward it to the end. So this one more row. First I knit because I change the color. If you do not change the color, you don't need to knit at the first edge stitch, just transfer it. Now next 2 I have to knit together, angled to the right, and for that I have to make front loop coming first. That's why I changed the position of my stitches. Now this is stitch number 1, and I need 5 stitches until my next marker or my central stitch, which is this one. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is yarn over. Again knit, yarn over, and this is stitch number 1. Number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Now these 3 have to be knitted together, but again we put second stitch first. For that I'm just, see what I do? I turn stitches around. Of course you can use just a special tool or just do what I am doing. the goal is to bring second stitch first to create that 3D stitch on the top. That's much nicer, right? Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, makes stitch number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and now 3 together, and again making second stitch come first, like this, and knit 3 together, and now again 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is yarn over, central, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and 2 together will make 5, and last is purl. That's it. Now 1 row of only purl stitches, and I think it should be clear, right? Done. So that's how it looks, our zigzag stitch or chevron stitch. This is in yellow and white, this is in blue and pink. I think it's very pretty. It will work beautifully on a scarf, on a baby blankets, on like big palanquin or shawl. Even for summer, you can make it from a cotton yarn, and it will be beautiful. Will look beautiful over summer dress. Solid color summer dress. You can make like your favorite colors. This chevron shawl. Now I would like to explain to you how to multiply this stitch. Here I have 2 repeats, right? I have 12 stitches for the actual stitch, right? So I have 2 of them, and plus 11 at the end. 11 is 12 minus 1, so your stitch, number of stitches for your one pattern, minus 1. Now, how to make it wider? All numbers remain the same. The only number that you change is this one. For example, if you want to make it 4 times or 5 times wider, so of course you have to keep in mind that this will add 11 stitches some width, but how you have to calculate, you have to change this number. You cannot change multiplying 37 by 2. This is not going to work, never. So you have to change this number, 12 multiplied by 6, for example, and the rest of the numbers remain the same, plus 11 plus 2. So what it will bring us to 72, this plus 11 plus 2, and it makes 83 plus 2, 85 stitches. This is how we calculate number of stitches. If you want it wider, and I'm sure you will because it is very, very narrow. So 37 stitches give me about 8.5 inches or 22 centimeters, 23 centimeters, something like that. So around. And it is very narrow. Number of needle size is 4 4 millimeters or US number 6. That's what it says. 4 millimeters US number 6. And yarn is Chevron Simply Soft. I hope it was clear, understandable, and helpful. If you have any questions, please write in your comments under this video. I will try to answer all questions. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.